election headquarters special program, a Holyoke mayoral debate. And now, here's Rich Teddemer.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for 22 News Special Decision 2017 coverage. This week, 22 News is working for you with a series of debates among the candidates running for mayor in local cities. And today, it's the debate between the candidates running for mayor of Holyoke. And joining us today is the incumbent mayor, Alex Morse, who is running for a fourth term, and his challenger, former city councilor Jay Ferreira. We'll begin with opening statements. As a result of a coin toss, Jay Ferreira is elected to go first, and he'll start it off for us.
Thank you very much, Rich. I'm Jay Ferreira, former city councilor and lifelong Holyoke resident. I'd like to ask for your support on November 7th. It's a week from tomorrow, Election Day. It's important that you exercise your right to vote and get out and cast your vote for the candidate that you think is the best. Please visit my website, www.jholyokeMayor.com. If you have any questions, there's contact information, and I'm happy to talk with anyone who has any questions. Thank you.
Mayor Alex Morse, your opening statement, please.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Rich, for the invitation to be here this afternoon. And of course, thank you to my opponent as well for agreeing to be part of this debate. But most importantly, thank you at home for tuning into this important process. The election's a week from tomorrow, and as I've said many times over the last 6 years, it's been an absolute honor and privilege to be your mayor. And I ran 6 years ago because we needed a mayor with a long-term vision for our community. And we've worked hard together over the last 6 years to improve outcomes for all of our students, bring crime down to historic lows, and also have record level of both public and private investment in our community. There's a lot of exciting things happening now in the city of Holyoke, projects all across the city, be it Marcotte Ford, the completion of Ingleside Square and the Fairfield Marriott, and more in the pipeline. And so I respectfully ask for your vote on Tuesday, November 7th, and I'm looking forward to the conversation this afternoon.
Thank you, Mayor. Now, a reminder, once again, this debate is a Lincoln-Douglas format, which means that the candidates will ask questions of one another. One candidate will have 30 seconds to ask a question. The other candidate will have 60 seconds to answer, and the candidate who then asks the question will have 30 seconds, that is, for rebuttal. So it goes 30, 60, 30. By virtue of the coin toss, Mayor Morse will ask the first question.
Great. Thank you, Rich. During your campaign for mayor, your biggest criticism of my administration has been a redistribution plan in the fire department that maintains adequate protection for the entire city and follows NFPA standards for response time. Recently, you announced a plan that would take 2 pieces of apparatus offline, replacing them with 1. This means the city will no longer be able to respond to 2 fires at once, as we can now. How can you justify this plan?
Thank you so much for that question, Mayor. I mean, quite frankly, I would say my biggest criticism this campaign is not actually having to do with public safety, but rather having to do with the school system. Our Holyoke public schools have been taken over by the state. I've been a strong advocate for local control of our public schools, for pressing the state for a timeline and a criteria for leaving and returning local control to the state. We're losing a lot of students and we're losing a lot of teachers as a result of uncertainty and fear in our schools. And quite frankly, I mean, the public safety issue is very important, but for me, you know, the Holyoke Public Schools is the primary issue.
Mayor Morse, your rebuttal.
Yeah, and I would just say about that, my question was regarding the plan he announced a couple of weeks ago regarding closing down apparatus up on Northampton Street, the fire station near Lynch School. And this is something that my opponent has continued to criticize me on, is the redistribution plan in the fire department. And I think he made it very clear that he has no plan in the fire department, like he has no plan in the public schools. Where on the contrary, Chief Pond and I have a plan to provide efficient fire protection to every resident in the city of Holyoke. We've gotten millions of dollars in federal grants over the last 6 years to hire additional firefighters in the community, new equipment, and many other things.
That's time. Jay Ferreira, your first question, please.
Great, thanks, Rich. Mayor Morse, in a recent campaign mailer, you noted that $2.1 million has been added to the City Stabilization Fund under your administration. Aside from the interest, which would have accumulated no matter who was in office, how much specifically have you contributed to this fund?
Yeah, and that's an important question. And because of our fiscal discipline and our conservative withdrawals from the stabilization fund, you know, we've seen administrations pass for many years when we have budget problems, just go to the stabilization fund right away. But we haven't done that. We've actually invested in our community, invested in public services, and of course, interest has grown on the stabilization fund. But that's only possible because we have a responsible usage of the stabilization fund. We've also, for the first time in the city's history, implemented a policy that governs the use of the stabilization fund so that we use it for capital equipment. We've never touched the stabilization fund for operating expenses. And so we're proud of the fact that over $2 million has gone into the stabilization fund over the last 2 years. We've maintained a relatively flat budget over the last 6 years, despite some big financial and fiscal pressures that we inherited when I took office. And so we're proud that our bond rating has been affirmed by S&P, Standard & Poor's, and the fiscal outlook for our city is stronger than ever.
Rebuttal.
Well, I'd say that doesn't really answer the question, Alex, because the answer to the question is $0 that you've committed to the stabilization fund. And frankly, I think it's a bit misleading to indicate to the voters that you've grown this stabilization fund when, in fact, it was only interest that's contributed to it. And we have drawn from it a number of times. So quite frankly, if we had an inanimate object as mayor, the stabilization fund would actually be even higher. So I just wanted to make that point. Thanks.
Mayor Morse, your next question, please.
Yeah, and I would just say in my opponent's rebuttal, he admitted the fact that the stabilization fund has grown over $2 million under my administration, and we helped make that possible. Recently, the Holyoke Mall came up at our last debate. It's the largest taxpayer in the city of Holyoke. Recently, you said there wasn't much the mayor could do to support this important asset. However, my administration has taken the lead on passing a new type of retail center zoning that would give the mall the tools it needs to adapt to the changing retail environment. Do you support this zoning, and can you explain your rationale?
Right. So, explaining my comments at a previous debate was really more centered towards just the growing trend of online buying and the pressures that puts on the Holyoke Mall. Not to say that the Holyoke Mall isn't able to exist, but I think the really important point here is that we need to start to diversify our economic base, and the new growth under the current administration has been among the lowest in the state for the last 5 years. That wasn't the case under previous administrations. It's not a function of anything that Holyoke is doing wrong. It's a function of the administration. And I think that due to that, there's added pressure for us to support and maintain the mall. And certainly I support that initiative, and we should do whatever we can to help Bill Rogalski and his excellent team that run the Holyoke Mall to be successful and to stay in business. But I just think we need to be aware of the broader picture and national trends in terms of retail. Thank you.
Rebuttal.
Great. I think my opponent's answer is indicative of his lack of understanding of both new growth, but also what's happening in our city with economic development. We've been working hand in hand with the tenants and businesses with the Holyoke Mall, but also those around it. Holyoke Crossing. This week we'll break ground and officially open up the new O'Connell development headquarters in that section of the city. But we're working hand in hand to create a retail center zone that would make it easier for businesses to come to that area of the city. Because right now we have different pieces of zoning which make it more difficult to do business.
Jay Ferreira, your next question, please.
Great, thank you. On multiple occasions this campaign, you've avoided directly answering the following question, so please answer yes or no. Do you support the immediate return of local control of our public schools? And if so, why? And if not, why not?
Yeah, and I would just say to this question, this it's a misleading question, and Jay Ferreira throughout this campaign has pretended that Mayor of Holyoke could pick up the phone and call the commissioner and say, hey, we really want local control back, without doing the work necessary to get local control back. And so my opponent says it's his #1 priority without outlining any specific plans to get us there. And on the contrary, over the last 6 years, we've seen things like the graduation rate go from 49% when I took office upwards of 65% today. And so, of course, we're working every single day to get local control back, but we'll only get local control back if we improve outcomes for students. Programs like investing in dual enrollment. For the first time ever, we have students at Holyoke High School taking classes at Holyoke Community College, UMass, and Westfield State. And I have an opponent that continues to publicly say that everything's uncertain in the public schools, complains about everything that's happening there. We really need to come together, roll our sleeves up, and get the job done. And that's what we've been doing, and I'm confident we'll get local control back because of the hard work we've done over the last several years.
Rebuttal.
Well, again, I'd say that you avoided answering the question directly for at least the third time that I can think of. And you know, there is a lot of uncertainty. I think if you actually get out and talk to parents and interact with students, as I have, you'll find that there's a lot of uncertainty about the future. And there are folks who unquestionably would have loved to send their children to the Holyoke Public Schools who are now exploring other options, charter schools and school choice, because they don't know what the future holds. And I think that the leader of the city of Holyoke really needs to be outspoken and taking a lead on returning local control to our public schools. Thank you.
Mayor Morse, your next question, please.
Similar topic. As we all know, the state placed Holyoke Public Schools into receivership in 2015. While this is something that no municipality would want, we have been working hard to address this. Even with the progress we've made, this continues to be one of your biggest criticisms of my administration. Can you please state 3 concrete things you would do to help Holyoke regain local control?
Sure. So, you know, number one, Alex, I don't want you to think it's a criticism of you. I think, you know, I look at this state control of our public school system as an issue that our city needs to deal with. It's not necessarily reflective of you. I think my criticism of you has been a lack of leadership in regaining the local control. So that being said, I think number one, we need to start to advocate and let it be known that, you know, the city of Holyoke does not appreciate being taken over. The city of Holyoke does not feel that local control is the right path for our public school system. Number two, we need to press the state on a timeline for returning local control of our public schools. You know, there's a possibility that they could be here for another 20 years if things don't change. And then third, we need to press them on a specific criteria for what it's going to take for them to return local control to our public schools, because, you know, there's, like I said, a lot of uncertainty about all of these things, and you know, we need some hard answers to these difficult questions, and this is a very difficult issue for our city, Alex. Thank you.
Rebuttal.
Yeah, I mean, I think my opponent admitted this wasn't a criticism of me, and I asked for 3 specific things that he would do as mayor to get us local control. And to get local control, we need to improve our public schools. We need more students graduating. We need more students ready for college. We need more students getting a vocational education at Dean Technical High School. We're doing these things. We've expanded preschool. We're doing secondary redesign work. And my opponent, when asked 3 specific things, didn't answer the question regarding what would he do differently in the public schools. It's critical we have a mayor that will be a leader on this issue, and that's what we've done.
Jay Ferreira, your next question, please.
Thank you. In a June 2011 article regarding towing contracts, you announced you had, and this is a quote, severed business ties with a towing company over allegations of fraud. In the same article, you were quoted as saying, part of the reason the city is no longer doing business with this company is because they are not based in Holyoke. This same company has since contributed thousands of dollars to your campaign fund and then been awarded the contract for city towing services. How do you explain this change of heart and the appearance that those contributions may have impacted your decision?
Yeah, I mean, frankly, I'm disappointed with this type of questioning at a debate like this. And I think my opponent is inferring that I somehow would make a decision based on who's contributing to my campaign. And let me be very clear. Since I first announced my candidacy back in 2011, upwards of 2,000 individual people have donated to our grassroots campaign, and we're proud of that. A majority of our donors live right here in the city of Holyoke, and a vast majority of them are valued under $100, and we're proud of that fact. My opponent keeps bringing up the towing contract. What he doesn't mention is that the tow company that is very supportive of him have not only donated to his campaign, but they also donated $750 to my campaign over the last 5 years, and that didn't stop me from terminating that contract. And so I will always do what's best for the city of Holyoke, but I'm also proud of the fact that hundreds of people right here in our beautiful city have invested in our vision, in our campaign, because we continue moving the city forward, and I won't be distracted by the negative tactics and negative campaigning of my opponent.
Rebuttal.
Well, really, I'd argue that, you know, good government and faith that decisions are being made in the best interest of the city and not because of campaign contributions is a critical step that the city needs to take. I don't think that it's a negative issue. It's just an important one. It touches every other issue in our city, and the appearance of pay for play is present. Whether that's what transpired or not, I think is always going to be up for debate. But what we need to do as a city is take steps to prevent this situation in the future where we're unsure how a decision's been made because of these contributions. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to take a short 2-minute break right now, and then more questions and answers for the 2 men running for mayor of Holyoke. You're watching 22 News. Welcome back to the debate between the candidates running for mayor of Holyoke. Mayor Alex Morse and challenger Jay Ferreira are here in studio today, and we continue with Mayor Morse, who has the next question.
Great. On your website, you say that one of your priorities is getting city-owned properties back on the tax rolls and reducing blight. However, this is something that we have been working on since day one. We have held 3 tax title auctions raising close to $1 million, have more receiverships than at any time in the city's history. We've passed stronger laws to keep our neighborhoods clean. We reinstituted a code enforcement officer in the police department and convened the Problem Properties Group, bringing many city departments together to tackle these issues that have plagued Holyoke for decades. So my question is, what would you do differently?
Thank you. That was a very long question and a good one, though. So I think the number one thing really is the auction process I have an issue with. I think that an RFP is a much more responsible and effective way to dispose of city property. And I'll give you an example. The Alpine building on Pine Street has been up for auction several times. So somebody comes and they bid for $40,000, and then they're unable to come up with the $40,000. So it's, you can announce that the city raised $40,000 in an auction, but in reality, all we got was the $5,000 deposit that they had to put down, and that building sits there undeveloped and not paying taxes. So I think an RFP where we're crafting the RFP towards responsible developers who have the means to develop these large projects and the ability to finish them on time and get them back on the tax rolls is a really important step.
Rebuttal.
Yeah, and we've actually done just that. We work with all of our departments on this issue, so the Problem Property Group, and we actually go property by property. What properties are best for an auction, what properties are best for an RFP, which is what really means for those at home is a request for proposal where people can put in more detailed proposals for those properties. So we've done that. One great example is the old Parsons Paper, a burnt out paper factory, closed back in 2008, or got burned back in 2008. We were able to sell that to Aegis Energy, clean that site up, put together over $4 million to clean it up. And that's the perfect example of our administration tackling blight while also helping a local business expand.
Jay Ferreira, your next question, please.
Thank you, Rich. In the months following the tragic New Year's Day fire, Fire Union President Chad Cunningham spoke out strongly against both you and Chief John Pond. Soon after, he was suspended and demoted from his position as a lieutenant under questionable circumstances. Did you have a hand in this, and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the opportunity to answer such a question. And I think, when we think about the New Year's Day fire, I think first of all, we have to respect those 3 individuals that passed away. And unfortunately, we had a union president and candidates for mayor that immediately politicized a tragedy that had nothing to do with the redistribution plan in the fire department. So we, as I said before, over the last 6 years, we've been strong supporters of the fire department, invested millions of dollars in the fire department. We have a 3-member fire commission that oversees both discipline and investigations, hiring, promotions in the department, and I have been very clear not to politicize that process whatsoever. And so I'm very proud of the fact that John Pond, our fire chief, runs that department very professionally, and I defer to the experts in this field. And so to that, I defer to the chief, our fire commissioners, and they always do what's best for the city of Holyoke.
Rebuttal.
Thank you. And without question, I was very careful as a candidate not to politicize that fire. It was a terrible event for our entire city, and we certainly all still feel the pain there. But I was present before our previous debate on Monday at the disciplinary hearing for Fire Union President Cunningham, and the union lawyer completely destroyed the Fire Commission's arguments. It was an embarrassing moment, I think, for the Fire Commission, and it's clear that retaliation almost definitely took place. And we really need to respect the independence of our union leaders to speak out against political decisions without the fear of retaliation. Thank you.
Mayor Morse, your next question, please.
As you may know, Holyoke already has one manufacturing company licensed to grow medical marijuana. Recently, the City Council passed a moratorium on allowing recreational marijuana sales and manufacturing, which I vetoed. What is your position on this moratorium and why?
Thank you for that question. So first off, we hear a lot of folks in the city of Holyoke talking about the marijuana issue, and you'll hear folks say, that they didn't vote for the marijuana ballot initiative, but now that it's passed, they support it. I voted for the initiative. I strongly support the initiative. I think that it's one of the good opportunities for growth in the city of Holyoke. We're well situated, and it's something that Alex and I agree on. The city of Holyoke is well situated for an expansion in marijuana growth and distribution. We have relatively inexpensive energy rates, relatively inexpensive real estate, and a gas and electric that can plug everybody in for the business to take care of. Thank you.
Rebuttal.
Well, I just want to thank my opponent for agreeing with us on this issue, and I think the vast majority of Holyokers voted in favor of question 4. And I had the opportunity a couple of weeks back to tour 28 Appleton Street, where GTI is building their first cultivation site for medical marijuana. Just to think, an $8 million investment in downtown Holyoke will create upwards of 100 jobs just over the next year alone. And so, Jay is right. We are well positioned. Our cheap electric rates, our abundance of space, and we've been happy to discuss this topic with other investors to create more jobs, more tax revenue, and more growth for the city of Holyoke.
Jay Ferreira, your next question, please.
Thank you very much, Rich. I think it's an open secret that, and certainly correct me if I'm wrong, that you're looking towards higher office. Do you plan on completing your 4-year term in the city of Holyoke, and do you plan to commit to that 100% today?
Absolutely. I first ran for mayor. I announced when I was 21 years old back in January 2011, and it's been a complete honor to gain the trust of Holyoke residents and voters over the last 6 years. I was in favor of the 4-year term for mayor. I always said I wanted to be mayor for at least 10 years, and so I am excited to be here. I'm not sure what to say because I think it's such a funny question. I'm running for the 4-year term because I want to complete the 4-year term at least. I always said until our work is done, we still have a lot more challenges in the city of Holyoke. And while we've made progress in education and public safety and in economic development, we also know that we're not done yet. And we're not going to rest until all young people get a good education, all families can live in safe neighborhoods. Everyone has a sense of pride about what we're doing in the city of Holyoke. And so I think about those challenges and those issues, and I'm more committed than I've ever been to my job and our team and the people of Holyoke. And I'll assure anyone of that. That's why I'm running.
Rebuttal.
Thank you for that response, Mayor. And I think, certainly I can appreciate the situation that you're in, but there is some concern for me with whether you're committed to this full 4-year term. I think we see you're increasingly speaking out on national issues and taking stronger positions in the state political system, the Democratic Party, and it seems to me to indicate that you're ready to step up to higher office. And certainly, I wish you the best of luck in that endeavor. But I think we really need a mayor that's committed to be in Holyoke over the long term. And certainly, that's who I feel like I'm the strongest person for that. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, it's time for closing statements. Each candidate will have 60 seconds to make that closing statement. And by virtue of the coin toss, Jay Ferreira goes first.
Thank you, Rich. Yeah, we had a series of coin tosses in the green room, which went well. I just want to thank all of the folks who took the time to sit and listen to this discussion tonight, or this afternoon, rather. We were able to touch on some of the substantial issues facing the city of Holyoke, and that's what a good, healthy campaign will do. Is we'll have a good debate about what will happen, and then we'll all come out and vote in a week, and hopefully we can move forward from there. So I just want to thank everybody again, remind folks to vote on November 7th, and have a good afternoon.
Mayor Alex Morse, your closing statement, please.
Great. Well, thanks again for the opportunity to have this debate this afternoon, and thank you again at home for tuning in. This is an important election. It decides where we go over the next 4 years. And 6 years ago, I came into office, and we had deep challenges in our community. And as I said earlier, we still have a lot of work ahead of us. But I am as energized and excited as I've ever been, just as I was 6 years ago when I was first elected here in the community. And so I'm looking forward to continue having conversations over the next 8 days. But I also recognize that we can't continue moving Holyoke forward alone. And so I'm asking you to join our campaign. Go to morseformayor.com. Stop into our headquarters at 1548 Northampton Street and help us make phone calls or knock on doors. Our campaigns have always been about the people, grassroots, door to door, having those conversations with voters, whether you agree with me or not. And if you didn't vote for me in the preliminary, I sincerely want to earn your support. I want to be everyone's mayor. I always have been, and I make the decisions that are best for our community. And I'm looking forward to continue being your mayor over the next 4 years. Thank you again for your time and for your support.
And that's all the time we have. Thank you to Mayor Alex Morse and Jay Ferreira for participating in today's debate. Now, if you missed any of it, it will be posted in its entirety on wwlp.com. Our next debate will be Wednesday afternoon at 12:30, featuring the candidates for mayor of East Hampton. Be sure to join us tonight for 22 News starting at 5, and have a good afternoon.